What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday? Yeah, it's a Tuesday, and we got a ton to talk about, obviously, with Val Nichushkin. Did the Avalanche make a statement when it comes to him? Of course, the suspension. We got to talk about it. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for May 14th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
Okay, so let's get into it. Val Nichushkin has been suspended at a minimum of 6 months due to what people are saying is a failed drug test. Obviously, that's just being rumored at the moment, but essentially they are coming out and saying that he will be suspended for the minimum of 6 months. Now, the interesting part about this, and this comes from the NHL and NHLPA, we all remember what happened in Seattle. How could we not? And then he also was gone for a period of time during the regular season because he went off into essentially stage 2 of the NFL or NHLPA and NHL player assistance program. I have to speak lightly on this because obviously there is a human element to this entire situation, if we're being completely honest with you right now. And we have to look at it as, yes, you want Val to get better. And we're going to hear from Jared Bednar in just a quick second. You want Val to get better, but you also can totally feel disappointed because this is the third time that something like this has happened. 2 of those coming in the playoffs. So yes, I totally get it when it comes to Avs faithful. And I know the comments are probably going to roll in here in just a second. And we can all be a little bit disappointed, but we're not going to see Val Nichushkin until probably Thanksgiving. And to be completely honest with you, we may never see him again. I titled the name of the show, The Avalanche made a statement on the Val Nichushkin situation. And take a look at this photo. You can see that his nameplate has already been replaced in the Avalanche locker room, which is just a little bit mind-blowing, if we're going to be completely honest. It didn't take long. I thought that they were going to take the nameplate off of it. They don't even do that. They just completely replace it. And Jared Bednar spoke with the media yesterday following the game about the future with Val Nichushkin and this team and if they will ever be one again. And then, his feelings on the situation. Take a listen.
Val and the team are separate. In this moment, can you see a scenario in the future where those two things are
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. Listen, Val obviously is struggling with something, right? I have 2 thoughts. Yeah, it sucks for our team. We got to turn the page. We got to go play way better than we did today. There's still 20 plus guys in that room that care and that want to win and that are here, and that's what we have to focus on. It hurts our team. There's no question. He's a great player. And the second one is, I've gotten to know Val as a person, and I've gotten to know him as one of our teammates and a player, and I want what's best for him. And I want him to be happy, and I want him to be content in his life, whether that's with our team or not with our team. I want the best for him and his family. I think all of our guys are the same, and we hope that he can find some peace and get help. And so that's the other side of it. It's not... Hockey's not life and death, although we treat it like it is, and so Val's a big priority, and our team's another one. Now it's separated; they're not together. He's done for 6 months plus, whatever that looks like, and so again, we treat it like an injured player that's not able to play for us, like OC or Landy. I mean, we got to worry about the guys that are on the ice and are able to play for us.
So obviously, when it comes to this entire situation, like I said, I'm trying to tread lightly because substance abuse is nothing to joke about. But this latest suspension came hours ahead of Colorado's Game 4 contest against the Dallas Stars. Quite literally, I think players, some of them were at the arena already just from morning skate and were hanging around, and then others found out as they were making their way in and coming into the arena. So it doesn't excuse anything that we saw out on the ice yesterday, but it definitely does make it a little more difficult when you're expecting 2 players to be out there. Now, not only were they missing Nichushkin, but they were also missing Devon Toews, which was a huge blow to that defensive side of things. So yeah, it actually does kind of just suck all around, and there's no light way to put it. And I know people are saying, well, we have to be very mindful, and we do. Don't get me wrong. I want to be mindful, especially for Val and his family, but also for the entire Colorado Avalanche team. I can't imagine the disappointment that they're dealing with, and to have to sit there and everybody talked about, well, we're professionals. We just got to move on. We're professionals. We just got to move on. So it doesn't excuse anything by any means. And I think it is okay to be frustrated with the situation, but just be mindful also of the situation. So please let me know in the comments how you're feeling, because it's going to be a very, very interesting offseason. But I have a feeling that we have seen the last of Val Nichushkin in a Colorado Avalanche uniform and possibly in an NHL uniform as well. So now let's talk about the game. So Wyatt Johnston had 2 goals and an assist, and the Dallas Stars beat the Colorado Avalanche 5-1 in Game 4 of the Western Conference second round last night. The Stars have won 3 straight in the best of 7 series. The Avs got outshot 15-2 in the first period and 22-4 at one point. Felt like it was unheard of from a team that we have seen do so well and be able to put up so many goals. They haven't had fast starts by any mean this entire series, but the fact that they were getting outshot 22-4 at one point is just absolutely insane. They have not led in any playoff games so far this season. We don't know why they're having these slow starts, but it's just not good. Like, I'm like, why can't we get going? There should be energy. Things should be exciting at this point. And it just feels like they can't figure it out ever. The Avs get on the power play at one point and they still get scored on. Like, that's how sloppy we're talking about things right now. Casey Middlestat did get his second career playoff goal last night. Jarun was on the assist. He's obviously back in the lineup, which was great. And Jared Bednar talked a lot about this. Is like, yeah, you lose a really good player in Val Nichushkin, but you also got one back in Jonathan Drouin, being back obviously from that cut on his thigh. So yeah, you switch in one player from the next. So then why the heck are you down so bad? You see, the game ends 5-1. Okay, so if it's not just about one player, why is there struggling? It's going to be one of those questions that Will Peterson and I continue to talk about today on Coffee Break, so make sure you come hang out with us. Game 5 will be in Dallas on Wednesday. And Dallas's coach, Pete Boar, said, it's good, but we also know the final one is always the toughest to win, and we also know the opponent. I'm sure they'll regroup, and I'm sure they're not going to go down quietly. We're going to anticipate that the next game is going to be the toughest to win, 110%. I think it's going to be very interesting to see. But before we get to tomorrow night's game, we got to talk about the Denver Nuggets, because it is, in fact, a game day for them. After a stunning 2-0 deficit to the Wolves in round 2 of the NBA playoffs, the Nuggets did something more shocking in games 3 and 4 in Minnesota. They won both very comfortably. The last thing Denver can afford to do tonight is keep the trend going in this series. They have to break the curse of the road team winning every single game. It is just the 8th time in NBA history the road team has won all of the first 4 games of the best of 7 series on the road. And of those teams since 1984, the better seeded teams are 4-2 in completing a comeback down 2-0. So like I said, it is in fact a game day, and it is going to be a late game day. So everybody buckle up. 8:30 Mountain Time tip, tied 2-2. It's going to be a really good one. I'll be down there at Ball Arena. So I'm really excited for it. And I hope you guys will be excited for the vlog. We'll move to the NFL real quick, because the Jets didn't move on from Nathaniel Hackett, but according to reporter Connor Hughes of SNY, they made legitimate attempts to find someone to place above Nathaniel Hackett and quote unquote run the show on the offense. The desire reveals legitimate concerns with Hackett's ability to successfully run things, Hughes wrote. We'll see what the Jets end up doing. There's obviously still a few weeks away before the season gets going. But we also know who the Jets will be playing in week 1. So currently announced NFL week 1 matchups: Ravens at Chiefs on Thursday Night Football, Packers and Eagles on Friday in Brazil, Cowboys at Browns on Sunday, and Jets at 49ers on Monday Night Football. The Detroit Lions and quarterback Jared Goff have agreed to a 4-year contract extension. The extension is worth $212 million. And Goff's extension makes him the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL and the highest paid player in Lions history. Very well deserved, obviously. Felt like the Lions became America's team last year in the playoffs. Everybody was buying into them. They obviously just hosted the NFL draft a few weeks ago. So it feels like Detroit is kind of thriving in its current situation. It is crazy to see just the entire story turnaround of Jared Goff. Obviously was looked at as one of these quarterbacks that was never going to be able to win anything. Now he goes with the Lions and he's having quite the successful season. So congratulations to him on that $212 million. Now, Tom Brady's broadcast career has a start date. The future Pro Football Hall of Famer will make his Fox Sports debut on September 8th when the Dallas Cowboys face the Cleveland Browns in week 1. Brady will be paired with play-by-play announcer Kevin Burkhardt. So Everybody who thought, oh, could Tom Brady possibly be returning back to the field? He will be, but of course he will be in the booth. I think that Brady and Kevin Burkhardt will actually be a really good team. I'm going to be excited to see it. Will Peterson and I actually at the Avs game were talking about this a little bit because do we all remember when Tony Romo first got in the booth and everybody loved Tony Romo? It was like, oh my gosh, he's so good. He's predicting everything. Things quickly turned on Tony Romo and people all of a sudden weren't really into him. It's been interesting to kind of just see how that's played out this entire time. I will be interested to see how people react when it comes to Tom Brady. First of all, a lot of people already don't like Tom Brady because what he did on the football field, there's some hurt feelings there. So will people already be a little bit harsher on the quarterback when he takes the mic for the first time? Or are they going to give him a little bit of grace and will him and Kevin be a really good team? I cannot wait to find out week 1. And tomorrow, everybody, don't forget the NFL schedule comes out. We will know who the Denver Broncos will be playing week 1 as well. Last one for you. Like I say, I always like to find just weird storylines. And this one cracked me up. Not that this actual story is weird, but it's the picture I'm going to show you at the end. LeBron James attended the Boston Celtics Cleveland Cavaliers playoff game in Cleveland on Monday night. This is the first time that James has attended a Cavaliers game since his exit from the team in 2018. When shown on the scoreboard during a timeout, fans inside the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse reportedly went wild. And then there's this picture that went viral on social media, which you're like, oh, it's just a normal picture of LeBron James just chilling courtside. Does anybody realize that there is an entire bottle of wine just at his feet? I'm like, LeBron James, why do you have an entire bottle of wine just chilling there? Is this a special wine that you need to take home or something like that? It was just very weird. And I just, to be honest, thought that it was pretty funny. So I'm ready to get to your guys' comments. I know you guys are you always give me the good stuff. So thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your time here with me every single weekday. Let's see. Going to be an interesting offseason. It is, in fact, going to be a very interesting offseason when it comes to the Colorado Avalanche. I personally think that we have seen Val Nichushkin for the last time. I don't think that locker room would be very welcoming anymore. And I just think, unfortunately, it really screwed it up. Like, I don't know what else to say to you. I feel like you got 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, you're out. And I think that's kind of how it's going to be looked at down there. Of course, we have to be a human and understand that there is a problem at hand. But yes, like I've said, you can be disappointed. So Val Nichushkin could technically return come Thanksgiving, but I have a feeling he won't be there. Now, will he possibly return to another team? Will some other team look at other things? Possibly, but it might also be the final time that we see him out here. I just don't know, and we won't obviously know for a really long time. Let's see. This Avalanche this Avalanche situation is really disheartening. This may seem cliche, but Val's health is the most important thing. So he needs our prayers. I totally get where everybody is coming from with this. Like I said, there is a human element to this. He obviously has a problem. Jared Bednar even came out and said that, but it's totally okay to feel disappointed. You had somebody who let down your team twice in the playoffs. It is okay to be disappointed. They are a different team when it comes to who they are when Val Nichushkin is out there and when he's not. They are lucky to be a 500 team when Val Nichushkin is not out there. And when he is, they can be a Stanley Cup contender. Tomorrow night will be very interesting to see if they can prove a point when they return back to Dallas. But otherwise, we're looking at 1, 2, 3 Cancun, everybody. So buckle up. Let's see. Season ticket holder here can't even begin to describe how sad and shocked that crowd was last night. The team gave us little to cheer for the last 2 games. The window may be closing quickly. And that is my worst fear right there is you have some of the best players out there and your window may be very, very closely closing. It's just kind of the reality of the entire situation. And then you add even like more matters to it, which we're going to get to on coffee break. They chose Val Nichushkin over keeping Kadri. Think about that for a quick second. That one hurts just a little bit. Now, it's not saying that Kadri would have been better than Nichushkin or anything of that nature, but at least you would have had somebody who was a little bit more dependable. And to be honest, this Avalanche team, they need somebody who's the villain. And Kadri was okay with being the villain out there on the ice. What we've seen on the ice the past couple of games has just been people getting mauled over. And it's been unacceptable when we're talking about playoff hockey right here. Gosh, so many good comments. So many good comments. Thank you guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Let's see. Rachel, how will you announce who gets to spend the day at the drive? I promise that is coming. We are sorting through stuff right now on the back end, like all of my bosses and stuff. They're trying to figure out that. So I believe that you should be getting reached out to at some point. Again, just trying to do it. So make sure you're tuning into all of the shows too. I'm not sure if we're going to announce it here on the shows or you'll be getting an email, but definitely it's coming soon. So hang tight on that one. And as soon as I find out more information, I will let you guys know. Let's see. Stop eating popcorn, Rachel. It isn't working. I feel like I've learned my lesson. And unfortunately, it was probably the last game at Ball Arena for the Avs where we get the free popcorn. But maybe I just can't eat popcorn before the game even starts. Like maybe that's where it's going wrong. It worked for the Nuggets, but maybe it's I can't eat it until things are down bad. I don't know what it is. What are they going to do about Miko? Yeah, Miko is a whole other situation. I don't know. This is going to be one of the craziest off seasons pretty much ever. It's going to feel like for the Colorado Avalanche. So buckle up, everyone. Denver Sports, of course, will have all the information that you need to know about any moves that they end up making. But it is really going to be one of the craziest off seasons in probably history. I just don't know if we're even ready for it. So we will see. But I appreciate you guys so much for spending just a little bit of time with me every single weekday morning. I know I say that repeatedly, but truthfully does mean the world to me. Spend, time with your loved ones today. Give everybody a hug. And then, get ready for a Nuggets game tonight. Late tip, 8:30 p.m. So probably closer to 8:45 here in the the Mile High City. So we will see you guys then. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.